The year is 2025. The American auto industry faces a storm of tariffs. President Trump imposed a 25% tariff on imported vehicles and parts. His goal? To shield American companies and workers from foreign competition. Trump believed this would revitalize domestic manufacturing, his America First agenda. But the tariffs sparked concern: price hikes, supply chain issues, and job losses. The industry pushed back, setting the stage for a high-stakes battle. Amidst the tariff turmoil, one company stood out for its unwavering commitment to American manufacturing: Ford. Far from abandoning its roots, Ford doubled down on its domestic production strategy. CEO Jim Farley emerged as a vocal advocate for American manufacturing, challenging the very notion that Ford was turning its back on the U.S. "We build 80% of our U.S.-sold vehicles here," Farley declared, highlighting Ford's deep-rooted presence in the American manufacturing landscape. He went further, asserting that Ford exports more U.S.-made vehicles than any other automaker. Farley argued that if the entire industry matched Ford's domestic production ratio, it would create millions of jobs and fuel the construction of new factories. This wasn't just corporate rhetoric. It was a bold vision for a revitalized American auto industry, with Ford leading the charge. Ford's commitment to U.S. manufacturing wasn't a recent development. It was woven into the fabric of the company's history. From its iconic Rouge complex to its sprawling factories across the heartland, Ford had long been a symbol of American industrial might. The company's stance on the tariffs wasn't about clinging to the past. It was about charting a course for a future where American manufacturing remained a driving force in the global economy. Ford wasn't alone in its concerns. A chorus of opposition to the tariffs arose from every corner of the auto industry. General Motors, Toyota, Volkswagen, giants in their own right, joined forces with smaller manufacturers and industry groups to sound the alarm. Their message was clear: the tariffs were a recipe for disaster. They warned of unintended consequences that could cripple the industry they were meant to protect. These industry leaders argued that the tariffs would disrupt carefully calibrated supply chains, forcing manufacturers to scramble for more expensive domestic alternatives. The result? Higher prices for consumers, a decline in sales, and the specter of job losses looming large. Their concerns weren't hypothetical. They were rooted in the complex realities of a globalized industry where parts crossed borders seamlessly. The industry's pushback wasn't limited to private conversations. It spilled into the public arena. Automakers took their case directly to the Trump administration, urging the president to reconsider his protectionist policies. They argued that tariffs on foreign parts would only serve to increase U.S. production costs, making American-made cars less competitive and jeopardizing the very jobs Trump aimed to protect. The message was clear. The tariffs were a misguided policy that would ultimately harm the industry they were intended to help. Trump remained steadfast, insisting tariffs were needed to protect American jobs and rebalance trade. He argued the U.S. had been taken advantage of, leading to factory closures and lost jobs. For many, tariffs offered hope. Finally, someone was standing up for American workers. Trump's message resonated with those left behind by globalization. But pushback from the auto industry struck a nerve, setting the stage for a dramatic showdown. The stakes couldn't have been higher. The auto industry is a vital engine of the American economy, supporting millions of jobs and generating billions in revenue. The tariffs, if fully implemented, threatened to disrupt this delicate ecosystem, potentially triggering an economic earthquake with far-reaching consequences. Experts at the Center for Automotive Research estimated that the tariffs could cost U.S. automakers a staggering $107.9 billion and impact millions of vehicles annually. These costs would inevitably be passed down to consumers in the form of higher prices, potentially dampening demand and slowing economic growth. The ripple effects would be felt far beyond the auto industry, impacting suppliers, dealerships, and the broader economy. Nowhere was the potential impact more acute than in states like Michigan, where the auto industry is deeply intertwined with the economic and social fabric. In Michigan alone, the auto industry accounts for approximately 20% of economic activity. Thousands of jobs were at stake, not just in auto plants, but also in the vast network of suppliers and small businesses that rely on the industry. The tariffs threatened to unravel decades of progress and plunge communities back into economic uncertainty. The mounting pressure from the auto industry, coupled with concerns about the economic and political fallout, ultimately forced the Trump administration to reconsider its hardline stance. In a dramatic turn of events just days before the additional parts tariffs were set to take effect, Trump announced a deal to ease their impact. The move came as a relief to automakers, who had been bracing for the worst. The deal, while not a complete victory for the auto industry, provided some much-needed breathing room. It involved reducing some import duties on parts used in U.S. manufactured vehicles, while maintaining tariffs on fully imported cars. The compromise allowed Trump to claim a win for his America First agenda, while also addressing some of the industry's most pressing concerns. The timing of the tariff easing was no coincidence. It came just before a Trump rally in Michigan, a key automotive manufacturing state, and a crucial battleground in the upcoming election. The move was widely seen as an attempt to appease anxious voters and quell growing discontent in a state vital to Trump's re-election hopes. The message was clear. The administration was willing to listen to industry concerns and make adjustments when politically expedient. Throughout the tariff saga, Ford remained steadfast in its commitment to American manufacturing. Ford's actions spoke louder than words, proving its pledge to build cars in America was a core part of its strategy. The episode reaffirmed Ford as a pillar of the American auto industry. CEO Jim Farley became a leading voice for American jobs and manufacturing. Ford's story is a testament to the enduring power of American manufacturing and staying true to its roots. The company's actions proved American manufacturing can thrive in the 21st century. The tariff battle of 2025 served as a stark reminder of the complex challenges facing the globalized auto industry. It highlighted the delicate balance between protecting domestic jobs and maintaining the free flow of goods and services across borders. The episode also underscored the political nature of trade policy, as administrations grapple with competing interests and the economic anxieties of their constituents. As the auto industry navigates the road ahead, it must contend with an ever-evolving trade landscape. The rise of protectionist sentiment, coupled with ongoing tensions between major economies, creates an environment of uncertainty and risk. Automakers must be nimble and adaptable, prepared to adjust their strategies in response to shifting political winds and evolving trade policies. The tariff episode also highlighted the importance of collaboration. By presenting a united front, the auto industry demonstrated its ability to influence policy decisions and protect its interests. Moving forward, continued collaboration between automakers, suppliers, industry groups, and policymakers will be crucial to navigating the complex challenges of the global economy and ensuring the long-term health of the American auto industry. The road ahead may be uncertain, but by working together, the industry can chart a course towards a brighter future.